As we all know, some of the misconduct allegations leveled against Siminalayi Fubara includes the demolition of a state assembly complex. And we are getting to find out that Rivers State High Court has, awarded 1.1 billion naira against the Rivers State government for the state assembly complex demolition. Before we delve right into the details of today's news, if this is your first time here or you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Please go ahead and subscribe, like this video, also leave your opinions in the comment section below as well. A Rivers State High Court sitting in Port Harcourt has delivered a landmark judgment awarding 1.1 billion naira against the Rivers State government. The court's decision stems from the unlawful demolition and forceful takeover of landed properties belonging to residents of waterfront communities in Port Harcourt City local government area. The affected residents from areas such as Egede, Iruala, Elechi Phase 1 and others had their properties demolished and taken over by the immediate past administration of Governor Nyesom Wike. In 2022, the residents approached the courts alleging violations of their fundamental human rights. In this judgment, the trial judge, Justice Sika Aprioko, ruled that Rivers State government had indeed violated the fundamental rights of the applicants. The court ruled that the government failed to notify the residents before demolishing their properties and could not prove that they had purchased the land from the residents. The court also criticized the government for not providing shelter or compensation to the affected residents. Instead, the government used police and thugs to demolish properties, chase away the residents and take over the areas for urban development. Justice Aprioko therefore ordered that the state government should pay the sum of 900 million naira to the applicants as cost of violation of their rights and 2 million naira as fine to the applicants in the suit. Counsel to the applicant, Toye Igeri, who is a member of the Justice and Empowerment Initiative, in an interview expressed happiness over the judgment, which he said will go a long way in restoring the hope of victims who have been rendered homeless by the actions of a government. Counsel from Rivers State Ministry of Justice, who represented Rivers State government, declined to comment on the judgment. What are your thoughts? Let's have them in the comment section below. The same thing Wike did in Rivers State is the same thing he's now doing in Abuja, demolishing properties here and there. I don't know if, it just seemed like if the government do not demolish properties, they cannot, do any other project. And by the way, demolition of properties is not even a crime. But how can you demolish, properties owned by people who have worked most of their lives to be able to have those properties? You demolish them, you just chase them away without any compensation, nothing. And then you build your own, you rent your own buildings on those landed properties. It's just not fair. It's not fair. I've seen cases where, state government, they will demolish people's properties. They will claim that they want to, erect modern buildings, modern structures on those properties. They will end up buying back those property, using pseudo-names, using SPVs, special purpose vehicles, buy those properties, using another name for themselves. Can you imagine the 419 ways of these people? They demolish people's properties, properties that they know that are in very highbrow areas, all those very expensive areas. And then they pass through the back door and then they buy these properties using another people's name, using pseudo-names or SPVs, to buy these properties for themselves. Can you imagine the heartlessness, the crooked ways of these people, these so-called politicians? Before we go, guys, let's take a look at some of the reaction we got online. The first one is from Wilfred Frank, who says, Wike, not Rivers State government, now demolish those properties. Yes, we know it's Wike, but He did it when he was the River State governor. So it is still the River State government that demolished the properties. Doesn't matter if Wike is no longer the governor. It is still the River State government. John says, everything about Wike is violation of law and human rights. Approach FCT Minister Wike for the payment. It is the River State government, unfortunately, that will pay because he did those things while he was the governor of River State. Had it been he carried those activities out while he was just a private citizen, then he would have said Wike would pay, like that is, himself personally. But he did those things, he demolished those properties while he was the governor of a state. So it is still the state government that will pay the compensation money, irrespective of the fact that the present governor does not even know when Wike was doing all of that. That's just how it works. Azuko says, now na money for na Supreme Court will settle am. Eze says, this is how he's causing trouble everywhere. Now he's in another mission. He's on another mission in Abuja. After the mission, when the terrible demolition he committed was discovered, they would leave the billions of expenses for another good government. Emmanuel Morgan says, people will come waterfront, build Bacha, and what do you expect government to do? I just wish that all of these buildings that have been demolished or that were demolished are Bachas, not all. If it were Bachas, fine, they could, demolish. Bachas are temporary structures, right? But what about, the demolition of normal buildings, like fine buildings, that was a permanent buildings that have been erected? What about that? Hope says, who will collect the money? The victims, the residents that are the owner of the demolished buildings, they are the ones that will collect the money. Kennedy Uyo says, wickedness did not start today. Now, who won't pay? Let's have your thoughts and opinions in the comments section. Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.